Hi, my name is Elisabeth Drakatos, and I am a Sustainable Engineering Fellow for Shoals Marine Laboratory. I'm also a junior civil engineering major at the University of New Hampshire. Going into my project, a background on Shoals Marine Laboratory is that it is a remote marine science laboratory located on the island off the coast of Maine called Appledore Island. Its main focus is undergraduate education as well as research. A unique aspect of the laboratory is that it is run almost entirely off of renewable energy, including solar panels, a wind turbine, and then 2 backup diesel generators. Since the island produces its own power and water, it has very limited resources, and thus the main question of my project was to determine what the consumption patterns of the laboratory is and to determine if the laboratory's renewable energy grid can supply for these consumption patterns. So now going into my results, the first result is that utility use increases with population. So we know that as more people are coming to the island, the power use goes up and the water use goes up. The average power use per day is about 220 kilowatt hours, and the average water use per day is about 1,100 gallons. So now going into my second result, we have that per capita water gallons per person decreased over time. So we can see on the y-axis, average gallons per person, that in 2021, it is about 30 gallons per person, and then it went down to 20 gallons per person in 2024. Now, this is important to note because from the U.S. Geological Survey, we know that the average gallons per person that someone uses is usually 100 gallons per person, whereas on the island at Shoals Marine Laboratory, it is only 20. So this really shows the sustainability of the island. So now going towards my third result, utility use varies by group. So just a little bit of background on this. Shoals Marine Laboratory summer is split into 2-week blocks. So every 2 weeks, there's a new cohort of classes that comes. And towards the end of the summer, there are public programs such as gardening tours, artist retreats, and more. So what I found in my results was that the public programs are using more water and power per person than the courses are. And during the time that there are courses, each course is using varying amounts of water and power. So now going towards my impact, the first thing to look at is the graph on the right, which is of 2021 per capita water use, and this is across the summer. So you can see the green box plot represents times where there are courses, and the blue box plots represents times when the public is there. So this is important to note because when the public is here, it is usually only for 1 or 2 days, whereas the courses are 2 weeks. So this really shows the educational impact that the laboratory has on its visitors, because during those 2 weeks, the visitors and participants are able to decrease their water usage to about 20 gallons per person. Now, moving on to my second impact was that the island has had the ability to monitor their daily water and power use, but they never went deeper into the analytics that I went to determine the per capita water and per capita power. So now they have the ability to see how much additional water and power they need for every extra person that comes to the island. So then moving into my third impact, you can see carrying capacity in the graph on the left that shows that the laboratory may be planning to increase their population in future times. And my work helps with this because understanding the carrying capacity allows the island to determine how many resources they need for more people coming to the island. And the linear regression model that I made allows the laboratory to forecast what resources they will need in order to grow and bring more people to the island if and when they decide to expand their infrastructure. Now, moving forward into what's next, my report will be available on the Shoals Marine Laboratory website for anyone in the public to view. In addition, the future interns will be able to build off of the analytics work and data sets that I've made, and the engineers will be able to use any of the graphs that I've made for any decisions or future interests. Thank you so much for listening.